Welcome to a new episode from the Insatiable Writer Podcast. Today's episode is Project Orpheus. And Project Orpheus is a poetry and prose book I'm writing based on masterpieces. It is not just an attempt to explain what is happening in the masterpiece. It's definitely not my job to do that, but it's a reflection of how this masterpiece made me feel. And I choose the masterpiece that has an important thing to say, especially in our time now. And that's what makes a masterpiece, right? It is timeless. Our first masterpiece is Susanna and the Elders by Giuseppe Bartolomeo Chiari. In the description, you will find a link that will take you to the painting. So if you would like to look at the painting first, if you would like to listen while you're looking at the painting, please, by all means, take the link and look at the painting while you're listening to my reflections on this great masterpiece by Giuseppe Bartolomeo Chiari, Susanna and the Elders. Susanna took a stroll among her own roses, her private garden, her special place away from the world that's always been watching, lusting, waiting for a chance to pluck a rose from that garden, especially the one forbidden, the one not put on display, the one she alone had the right to use. That was the one craved the most by all. Why must she hide away from the sacred feminine beauty bestowed on her as part of the miracle of life embodied in her beautiful breasts? So dear to her, for they were her own, but so dear to many lurking eyes compared to those they had at home or others at their disposal. Why wouldn't she be proud of who she was, and why can't her body be part of it? Why did she have to be shy to prove her chastity to the world? Why couldn't she celebrate herself whole, body, mind, and soul? Why did she have to prove anything? Why should there be two Susannas? Most of her admirers thought her most intimate moment was in bed, and they craved a moment in hers and envied whom consensually in there resided. All thoughts and fantasies imagined beneath her timid looks, a wild beast unleashed at the sight of their manly power. Yet Susanna's most intimate time of all was when she was alone showering in her private garden. Hers were hands that appreciated every touch. Hers were hands so gentle that knew where and how to caress. Hers were hands that truly knew what it meant to love. No man's hand could ever do that. No man's hands would go past what a man short-sightedly see. Why would the world crave my body? Why does nobody crave me? Susanna thought as pure water cascaded through her fingers and splashed so gently on her skin to cleanse the filthy eyes still fixed above but failed to see within. The two men so powerfully revered by all trespassed her private space, and they thought they scored as they saw what they dreamed of seeing for so long, threatened her to lay with them or be called a whore. Susanna said no, and they would never understand that a no means no. They would insist and threatened her with scandal stacked in their pockets like coins they used to buy everybody else. Susanna resisted, and in court her case against them was almost lost. But a fair judge believed her cause, cross-examined the two bastards, and knew Susanna was innocent, and sentenced the bastards to death. I would love to tell you there are many fair judges still, Susanna. Please don't lose heart. But why would an innocent woman have to be put on the stand? I would love to tell you that I, among the few who knew you were innocent, but like them all, I watched, waited, and left you to your fate. Why would the honorable have to defend their honor? I would love to tell you that our times are better, that rules are fairer, that women's rights are stronger. But there is still a long way ahead, Susanna. Why does a woman have to justify her beauty? Why does she still have to fight for her human rights? Nothing has really changed, Susanna. Nothing has really changed yet.
What changed since you, Susanna? The same lustful looks, the same dirty books, the same stolen thoughts. Your intimate self is never yourself. Your virtue is unacceptable, as still in the mind of man you are a property still, Susanna. On every street corner we celebrate your sexuality. On every billboard a dream and a fantasy you cannot sell if we cease to buy. Being a market, it's been ours ever since. The ultimate goal, a vicious, virile wish, your breasts and legs in our feast a dish. We can only have so much before we go along, and the sickness endures and the world goes on. When did no mean anything else? But in the world of men, God bless the yes, and maybe is a promise, but no is unheard of. Maybe you just want to kiss, and tomorrow you will melt at the sight of our loose biceps and the ash in our pockets we so much tend to call cash. No, Susanna, you did stand your ground. You should have been a toy to please for a little while a boy who never learned to grow up, be what everyone is calling him anyway. You should have always been a figment only reminisced in the dark corners of that primitive, hairy mind. No, Susanna, you did stand your ground and defended what, according to us, we should defend. We are the fallen, but you will forever stand.
So that was our Project Orpheus episode. I hope you like the painting I chose for today, Susanna and the Elders. And if you haven't gotten the chance to look at it yet, please look at it and maybe listen again to the podcast. There are a lot of thoughts and ideas that occur to mind when you look at this great masterpiece. And this is my insight, my attempt to reflect on this great masterpiece by Giuseppe Bartolomeo Chiari. Thank you very much for listening to another episode from the Insatiable Writer Podcast. This is your host, Danny. I will see you next time.